So you just launched your crowdfunded product. Hooray! I'm sure it was really tough, so congratulations. Now's another difficult time, launching your product on Amazon. And this is a critical next stage which a lot of founders get wrong. One reason is that there are a lot of fulfillment options to consider and which one is the right one for you. And even if you navigate that successfully, how can you make sure that you have enough cash flow to get through the next couple of months? And finally, how do you make your products discoverable so they don't just fall right to the bottom of the search results, but that they rise to the top so that new customers can find them? All without breaking Amazon's somewhat draconian and confusing terms of service. In these videos, I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid these pitfalls and launch your product successfully on Amazon. And of course, if you want a little bit of extra help, I'll give you the option to set up a personal strategy call with a member of my team. I'm Kiri from Bobsled Marketing, and we've helped dozens of product founders launch their brands on Amazon using these exact strategies that I'm going to show you. In this course, I'm going to teach you the broad strokes of launching your product successfully on Amazon, including setting up the listing, getting discovered through the search algorithm, and also how to leverage Amazon's fulfillment capability as if it were your own logistics network. So let's dive in with part one. So why Amazon? Well, Amazon is simply the world's largest online retailer by transaction volume in the Western world. None of the other guys even come close. And if you're selling a physical product, of course you want to be on the equivalent of Main Street in a really busy shopping district. And this is simply that shopping district online. In April of 2014, Amazon had 244 million active customers in the US that have their credit cards on file, they're frequent shoppers, and that kind of customer base just isn't found anywhere else. It's reported that 100 million people in the US buy a product from Amazon every month. That's a third of the population that's buying products from Amazon every single month. Another reason to sell on Amazon is their fulfillment capabilities. Amazon's invested billions of dollars into their fulfillment and logistics infrastructure. We've all heard about drone delivery, and recently Amazon has even invested in their own fleet of residential delivery trucks. So they've invested a lot into warehousing, fulfillment, and logistics. And the good thing is for sellers, you can take advantage of that infrastructure too. You can send your products to the Amazon warehouses and they fulfill orders directly to customers for you. So even while you might be a small operation, you can act and take advantage of those larger scale efficiencies to improve your business's efficiencies too. And while there is a lot of capability available, it can be a bit intimidating to figure out how that can all work with your existing systems, and that's where we come in. Brick and mortar retailers have observed this phenomenon of showrooming, where consumers will come into their stores, pick up their products, figure out which option they want to purchase, go home and buy it on Amazon. And they're also even finding that credible sources of information and reviews online, like for electronics, it might be something like CNET, don't have as much sway as they once did. So who do consumers trust when making a purchase decision? Other consumers. So Amazon understands this phenomenon, and they've invested a lot of money into their review infrastructure because they understand how much credibility other consumers have when making a purchasing decision. So getting your product review strategy in place and active and working well on Amazon is a must-do. Ultimately, you want consumers to be talking about your brand online, but of course you want that conversation to be positive. So when you've got your review strategy in place, it's important to be capturing that adequately and making sure that you're part of the conversation as the owner of that brand or of those products. So as a brand owner, you want people to be talking about your brand and your products. but you also want to be part of that conversation in case it steers into negative territory, or there are things that you could learn about your product that you can feed back into the product development lifecycle. So reviews are a critical part of your overall plan. So product reviews are both a big benefit of being on Amazon as well as a potential liability, and it's something that you must invest in being part of the conversation. So now you know why your brand should be on Amazon, and it should have been pretty clear to you from the start. But what is the actual process of how to launch your brand on Amazon? To upload the listing, to make it appealing to customers, to make it trustworthy and credible to new customers? And how can you integrate it with your existing technology and fulfillment systems? That's what we're about to get into. So let's talk for a second about retail sales channels. And there's a number of different ways that you can distribute your products as a brand. The first is retail online direct, where you as the brand are also the retailer. This can be through your own e-commerce store, through platforms like Amazon and eBay, and you're selling directly to the consumer. Another method is wholesaling, where you might sell directly to a brick and mortar retailer, or you might be selling to an online retailer. So you're selling at a wholesale rate to those customers who are other retailers. And another option is dropshipping, where another storefront or retailer will be making the sale directly to a customer, and you will be fulfilling that order on the back end. Those are three common ways to distribute your product as a brand, and Amazon is obviously going to be a direct-to-consumer channel, but it can also be used as a platform to facilitate the other options too, and that can give you a lot of power as a brand to consolidate those three channels together. We're going to talk about that in the next module. So let's have a look at how the retail direct channel on Amazon works for a crowdfunded company. So you funded your project and you have hundreds or thousands of customers that have prepaid for their product, and they're eagerly waiting for you to get it into their hands. So now is the time that you start production and manufacturing so that you can get the ball rolling. Some customers, they've funded your project, so they've prepaid. You might also start accepting pre-orders from other customers, which helps with your cash flow of developing and manufacturing too. But as you're going along, your list of customers is expanding, and you have more and more people that you need to deliver on and avoid disappointment. So now you have a decision to make. You can either have all of that inventory shipped to you at your facility, and you can package it up and send it out and manage the whole distribution process yourself, or you could work with a third-party fulfillment provider or 3PL and have your inventory shipped to their warehouse, and they will do the hard work of going through all those orders and fulfilling them directly to customers. Here's a third option that is not as familiar to most founders, and that is to use Amazon as your distribution mechanism here. So once you have your product set up on Amazon, you can ship your inventory there, and they'll fulfill orders not only when customers order off of Amazon.com, but they can fulfill large quantities of orders through a service that they have called multi-channel fulfillment, where you can basically upload a spreadsheet of all of your orders, and you still pay a fulfillment fee for every order that goes out, but the fulfillment's handled by Amazon. And so this is a helpful option if you don't want to manage a whole lot of other vendors. You don't want to have a relationship with this warehouse here as well as Amazon over here. You can all work seamlessly together. So once you've fulfilled that initial batch of pre-orders and rewards orders from customers, you'll want to start developing as quickly as possible some additional cash flow through ongoing orders. And this is where you're going to want to set up your Amazon storefront and your e-commerce storefront. And again, integrating your e-commerce store with Amazon can allow you to use Amazon's network to fulfill orders directly. and you pay, again, a fulfillment fee for every order that goes out. Of course, you can maintain your own distribution facility, but it's worthwhile noting that Amazon isn't just a direct-to-consumer play. It can be used for your fulfillment and logistics requirements too. So just to recap what we went through in this module, Amazon is amazing for product discoverability and reach due to its really high number of engaged, active shoppers. The second is around fulfillment advantages. So you can have quantities of inventory shipped to Amazon and used to fulfill your initial backers and pre-orders for your product. It can also be used to integrate with your own e-commerce channel and fulfill orders directly from there, as well as its own channel where people can buy your products on Amazon.com. In the next module of the course, we're going to talk about actually setting up your products on Amazon and the options that you have as a seller and the fees and costs associated with each model. Finally, help us help you. Does the concept of getting your product onto Amazon feel a little bit overwhelming right now? What's the scariest part, or the part that makes the least sense to you right now? Fill out your response in the form below. I'll see you in the next module of this course.